What's up, dreamers? Welcome to another episode of what I am calling Wise2Wise podcast. Of course, me, Dion Wise, will be meeting with other wise people in their own subject matters within health, wellness, and martial arts. And I'm going to be interviewing them. Today, we have a very special guest, Majid Corbett. If you don't know his name, you're going to know his name soon. He is a two-time MMA world champion, winning the belt in 2023 and 2024, and he's making his way to the UFC. Fighting out of Greenville, South Carolina. I actually had the opportunity to meet him a couple times. All of my interactions with him have been a very good one, from when we met in high school to when I went to go see one of his fights in South Carolina. So without further ado, enjoy the episode, stick to the end for a special offer for my channel, and like, subscribe, follow my accounts for more content. Today we got the double champ in the building.
Yeah,
How you
what's
doing?
good?
First of all, man, congrats to you for, you having a baby girl soon. I saw that post. That was amazing. That was something really cool. How you feeling about that?
Dude, I'm excited, man. I think when she told me the initial moment, I was like genuinely excited and thankful. And honestly, the first thing I thought was like, this is great. Like, this is going to change my life. And so here I
Mm.
am. I'm doing things that I wouldn't have been doing 9 months ago. So it's definitely going to bring a hustle to you. It definitely changes you from, off the rep from being told. But still, the day hasn't come yet for my little one to get here, and that's when they say it really changes, when you actually see them, when you actually hold them. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I'm most excited for. I'm actually excited to wake up early, mess with my baby, and do some cool things in the morning, and do my thing. But yeah, I think it's going to be awesome.
That's great, man. That's great to hear. I bet that's gonna be extra
Yeah,
motivation for you too, man. Having the kid, man. That's
yeah, bro.
yeah. All right, so. First of all, you are the first fighter on my like quickly what's becoming a podcast, because I had like a financial person on here before. Now I'm interviewing you, so I don't even know what I'm calling the podcast yet. But congratulations on being the first fighter up here. There's gonna be many more fighters because that's what I love. I love martial arts and everything like that, of course. So, but first, before we get into anything, I would like to just give a shout out to your character, and I want to say three things about your character because I didn't see enough of this online when I was doing my research and everything on you. Of course, I already knew you, but I was looking at your videos and stuff. A lot of good stuff out there. So the first thing was you have a positive mark on social media, and you tailor that well with also being a skillful MMA practitioner, MMA fighter in your craft. So there's a major difference between someone that is a fighter that is on social media versus someone that is on social media to portray a fighter. You know what I mean? And I feel like you
Yeah,
hit that line very well where it's the social media is just for, the fan base to see what you got going on, but you are a very dedicated person in your craft, and I can definitely see that in your videos and everything that you got going on. So that's the first thing. The second thing, being a true MMA specialist, because I know you started out with grappling and wrestling and everything like that. Some other people may not know that, but seeing you
yeah,
strike, dang, I got dropped. But seeing you strike in some of these videos, man, kicks be going crazy. Kicks be going crazy. Your
yeah.
hands be going crazy. And sometimes I'm like, does this man really grapple anymore? So,
Yeah, my brother said that, bro. My brother called me after my second one title. He was like, bro, he's like, I'm just trying to figure out now if you even wrestle. He's like, I can't tell if you a
yeah.
boxer or a wrestler. Like, so I'm like, yeah, man, it's just how the game goes, man.
Hey, but I think that's a great thing on your part because you see a lot of tall, lengthy fighters that get put on the ground. They don't know what to do. So you got that ground game. So, and then the third point I want to bring up is the most important one to me because every interaction that I've had with you has been a great interaction. Like it's been a good interaction. So the first time I met you, it was I didn't wrestle my ninth grade year, and that's the year that you had went and won state champion for
Yeah,
South Carolina. So for those that don't know, we both went to Sumter High School, both wrestled in Sumter High School. Majid got out right before I got in because I didn't want to wear a singlet my ninth grade year, and that was my biggest mistake that I've done. I was just like, man, I should have just put on the singlet, but it is what it is.
yeah,
For
bro.
anyone that's listening, it's really not that bad. It's honestly a flex. So, but
It is a flex. It's one of the coolest things to be in, no lie. I'd much
exactly.
rather still wrestle in the singlet than what they wear now. They wear like
The
shorts with
shorts, when the
you
shorts came out, I was like, nah. But yeah, so when you had came back down to one of our practices, and the first thing I noticed is you was very serious about the sport. You was very serious about coming in and being like on top of things, right? And
yeah,
you also had a certain level of poise that was different from other people. It was a like, okay, I'm a dog on you, but I'm gonna be respectful about it at the same time. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna call someone out on it, right? So
yeah,
it was that was good, and that gave me that year because I'd say I probably would have made it to be a state champ myself if I started a year sooner. Because in Alabama, I went on to states, and then I placed technically for fifth. And I wish I had that extra year, but you were definitely one of the ones that motivated me because I grappled with you and you was like, bro, you fast, like you got it going on and everything. You just got to keep training, keep going at it, right?
yeah,
And but you was just at a different level. There's levels to this grappling game, so for sure. But that was the
yeah.
first time I met you. You were a very poised individual, and you're very serious about your work. So I give you your props to that,
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
of
Yeah,
course.
man. I was a nut, man. But wrestling changed my life, and I was always just I don't know. That was just always kind of me. I was always like trying to be the best at whatever it was. And at first, of course, like growing up in the South, and you're a boy in America, like you want to be a football star. So, and
Yeah,
that's like the pinnacle of everything. It always seems like being a football star. That's the best thing you could be in America, top down, no matter what. Then you maybe got the president or something, but I think being a football star is
exactly.
cooler.
Man, when I came out here
So
to
I wanted to be
Alabama, that
that,
was
right?
exactly the same thing. Because we don't even have an
Yeah,
NFL
yeah.
team over
So
here. But continue going what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. But then I had I was playing football, I did park and rec, did a year of middle school because I would have did more years of middle school, but I was in a different situation. I was moving. I lived in Pennsylvania and stuff like that. We didn't
Hmm.
make it up in time to get on the team. But so I really wanted to be this football star, and I was dedicated, bro. I was really like, if I really work my hardest, and I remember asking myself this question when I was, like in high school, my pretty much my junior year, senior year, when I really committed and like was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this, like do wrestling or I'm gonna fight. This main question was, or was if I really work as hard as I can at something in my physical power, I can do anything and I can do it. Like especially fighting or grappling, right? Especially
Hmm.
fighting or wrestling. So that's really all it was. If I could just try as hard as I can physically at something. So that right there, I was like, all right, I could always fall back on that. Like if I try really hard at something, I could do whatever it is. Boxing,
Hmm.
wrestling, fighting, it don't matter. And
Hmm.
so that kind of was like my driver. So I was like, and playing football, I was really small, as you could tell. As you knew, I was 106.
Yeah,
Even your freshman year, my senior year.
yeah.
And you didn't even wrestle that year,
And
but
that
yeah,
and, yeah, and that's another thing I want to quickly add in because you came in and it's like because I was 126 and I was like, man, he was 106 and you were about the same weight class and I was like, man, that's it's we was right there. I was like, man, I'm in the same weight class. It's something I could see and I was like, yeah, I gotta train, I gotta go. But keep
yeah.
going.
Yeah, man. But yeah, dude, I was really undersized, playing football, and I was like 80 pounds my first 2 years in high school, like 85 pounds
Sheesh.
first 2 years. Then I hit like 95 pounds my junior year, and then like literally, at the end of my junior year, going into my senior year, I got like to 106, and I cut weight my senior year at 106. I was like 116, you know. I was
Mhm.
like 10 pounds, cutting 10 pounds, just to wrestle my senior year. And usually that ain't nothing, but it was still tough. It was still a battle. I still had to do like a lot of things, made a lot of sacrifices, didn't eat, didn't do certain shit. I was cutting weight, the full nine
Mhm.
yards. And it's because I had to though. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was actually pretty crazy. But yeah, I was gonna quit wrestling my senior year, bro. I was gonna go join the Marines. I was gonna like take the route
Wow.
of like being an athletic trainer. And then I was
Hmm.
like, they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to miss out on wrestling, wrestling tournaments and stuff, because you got to, tape somebody up or do something. And I was just like, I don't know about that. I can't be at a wrestle, so
Yeah.
I can't be, and I'm the starter of the wrestling team, so I can't be missing out. So I didn't do that. I was like, yeah, screw that. That ain't my thing. And I was just like always wanting to fight, always wanted to fight, and finally found my route through that. But I can get more specific about that later. But yeah,
Hmm.
but high school was it. That's where it's like important. Little do you believe, like little do you know it. A lot of people miss out on that time or don't get to use that time to take advantage of it. And even the college times too. I'm like 50-50 about college, like 70-30 actually. 70 you shouldn't go to college, 30 you should. But like it's a time and a moment of life where you should like it's a learning period, a learning process, and it's a safe net to do it in.
Hmm.
Just like learning martial arts, learning how to fight or learning how to shoot guns. Like you go to a shooting range and you go through practices and stuff to shoot a gun, right? You don't go out in the streets and shoot it willy-nilly and fighting. You don't fight in the streets, right? I mean, you're gonna have to, but you don't fight in the streets or learn how to fight on concrete with bare knuckles. You go to a gym, you put on
Hmm.
gloves, you learn with a coach and mitts, right?
Hmm.
So that same thing works with what I was just saying, but I don't
It
know,
works
man. It's
without, it works throughout life. If you have
yeah.
that practice, you gotta go out there and practice. And this kind of leads into my next thing. What I was gonna say was, what is the dedication and sacrifice that you had to go through? Because a lot of people will sit there and see you're fighting, and people be at the bars watching UFC fights and be like, man, it ain't even that bad for real. I can go out there and whoop some behind and do all kind of stuff. And some people are like, I've seen, and I know you've seen people that are they look athletically fit. They could be a bodybuilder or whatever. They don't have the cardio. They don't have the skills. They don't have the knowledge. If you go to jujitsu and you try to be like, oh yeah, I could go walk in and take on anyone. You're probably gonna get humbled by a white belt, if we're gonna be honest.
Well, by a blue belt for sure. Yeah, you
Blue
probably get
belt.
humbled by a high level white belt as
Mm-hmm.
well. You would, 100%. Probably a mid level white belt, but you gonna get humbled for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So nah, that's a big thing that I actually like. I used to love football and basketball. I used to watch them. I watched all those sports all the way up to 2016, which is ironically the year that I go into college. Ironically, my favorite team in the NFL lost the Super Bowl. We almost had the
The
most perfect
Falcons.
game.
I don't even want to.
No, not the Falcons, boy. The
What?
Carolina Panthers. We
You
lost.
talking about the pay? That's why y'all lost to the Broncos too.
Yeah, but chill, man. Watch what you're talking about.
That's
Cam
the
Newton's the
jog.
greatest
See, I
ever.
was I was trying to be easy. I was trying to be like, okay, yeah, we on the same page there with the Falcons, but I messed it up.
Nah, nah,
We took a L
not
too
the
though.
Falcons, my boy. Yeah, nah, yeah. The worst way they came back on y'all, but like I don't know. It still hurts. Anywho, it don't matter. It don't
Yeah.
matter. I started watching football stuff. I started and I was in college too. I dedicated my time to like Sundays I was recovering or doing homework. I wasn't doing shit like that in high school. I was
Hmm.
just chilling, watching football or something like that on a
Yeah.
Sunday. But nah, the dedication and sacrifice that it took, bro. Really, it really comes from like if you want it or not. So for example, holidays. I'm not really big into holidays myself personally. I don't think they're suitable. I don't think we should have holidays. I think the only
Hmm.
holiday is Passover, but that's my own personal belief.
Yeah.
Everyone else celebrates it. I'm cool with that. I'll show up to the hoorah and stuff. But it is what it is. But yeah. I have celebrated holidays. I used to celebrate the holidays, and I did. But when I celebrated the holidays, when I wouldn't go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas, yeah, or I would leave. Like I would train the day of Thanksgiving morning to go home later that day, drive like 3 or 6 hours home, spend the day with my family, and then like drive back up the very next day just to get back up to train and stuff like that. So you sacrifice a lot of time with your family. You sacrifice. I would say you sacrifice communication. Communication is the thing that you're supposed to have with people. But
Hmm.
bro, I can tell you a lot of things you can sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot of time. You sacrifice a lot of attention to people that like you used to see every day or something like that, or you talk to every day.
Hmm.
You sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice feelings for things. You sacrifice money. That's the biggest. That's one of the biggest things as a man. Financially, that's definitely the biggest thing.
Hmm.
You sacrifice. physical health. I don't want to sound like a punk. You sacrifice mental health, but like, what are you doing it for if you're gonna be a punk about it, right? So, yeah, bro, you sacrifice a lot. You sacrifice so much, um, in this game, dude, and you got to make it worth it, bro. You got to put it all. You put your all into it. That's what it's about. I'm all or nothing kind of guy.
Hmm.
I had this conversation with my coach, Coach Robbie, Logan Robbie. He was one of my closest coaches. He took me home every night. He picked me up every morning. Him and my other coaches, Darren Goodell, Coach Slaughter, they all picked me up and shit. But yeah, they all picked me up. But he literally asked me one day, this after my second year of football, because I remember our coaches we had like a whole meeting and everything. Boys were
Hmm.
quitting and we're bringing them back. And coaches like, do you guys think he should be on the team? Some of us raised our hand, yeah. Some of us raised our hand, no. Um, then he also asked, he's like, "Do you guys think there's people who do you guys think there are guys on the team that shouldn't be playing football?" And a lot of them raised their hand.
Yeah.
And I was still one of the guys that was playing football, and they were talking about me, and I was like, "Damn!" And so one day, I think we had this conversation before that happened, but one day he's taking me home, and he's like, "Yo, bro, let me ask you a question." I was like, "What's up?"
Hmm.
He's like, you want to be good at a bunch of things, or you want to be great at one?" And I had to give him the right
Oh, I
answer.
love
And the
that.
right to me, yeah, the right answer to me personally was be great at one thing. And so he was like, "All right, cool. So if you're going to be great at one thing, let me ask you, why are you playing football? Because there aren't too many 5'6", 100 pound, or even I wasn't even 100 pounds at the time. He's like 90-pound cornerbacks out there."
Hmm.
And I was like, or in the NFL, and I was like,
Yeah.
cause like, I'm a realistic kind of guy. I'm not dumb. I'm smart. As a sophomore,
Hmm.
like I knew like if you play football in high school, like you can start getting attention as a sophomore. And I knew the size. Like you had to be a certain size to, play positions and things like that. And I
Hmm.
wasn't meet that size at all. I was really small. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
So it just tells you like reminds you of the weight that I was. So I had to come to terms and like really like, sit down and kind of tell myself like, damn, maybe I won't grow to be a football player. I won't be
Yeah.
that size, which was, heartbreaking because that was my first dream. That's like, how I was telling my mom like I'll get us rich and famous. Like that was like I was telling my mom those things when I was young. So
Hmm.
yeah, that was my first route, and I didn't know about wrestling. I mean, I didn't know about like what the future of wrestling could take me, but I always liked fighting. So let's always put that in the books. I
Mm.
started fighting early, right? I started
Okay.
fighting early, like my cousins, my brothers, and then it finally started leading into school. Once you get a little bit more confidence, you can fight somebody you don't know.
Yeah. Okay. And I want to break off before we talk about why you like fighting so much with the sacrifice and dedication. The way that you're describing it to me is, and I've heard the saying before, it's in order to get the clarity and in order to have a clear vision on what you need to do, you're gonna have to cut off some things. So some people will sit there and think it's like, okay, man, it's like I gotta do this and this and this and it's so much for me that like I don't want to do it. Then you don't want to
Yeah,
get the clarity that you're fighting for. You don't want to become a champion. You don't want to go in and start your business. You don't want to do X, Y, and Z if you're not willing to make the sacrifices. Really, cutting things off should be the easy thing when you look at it as the more you cut off, the more focus you will have on your vision.
absolutely.
So now, so let's talk about why you like fighting. What gives you that edge or what gives you that motivation? What kind of sparked that interest in you to want to be a wrestler and fight and do all of that? For me, it was like I like Dragon Ball Z. I watched anime and stuff, and so it was
Yeah,
always cool. And I was like, okay, cool. There's a whole mental aspect for it for me, and that's why I enjoy going in there against guys and jujitsu and all that stuff. But what is that? What's that starting point for you?
you want to know the truth, Dion?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So it's like the closest thing legally that can bring me to death. Like it's like the closest thing, the
Mm.
biggest adrenaline rush that I can fight for my life and like keep it like natural. Other than, I've
Don't
had
do
thoughts
not
of like,
run up on this man in the streets, please.
yeah, I've had thoughts of like joining like the Navy or the Marines. Really, it was the
Yeah,
Marines first, and then like the Navy or something where I can actually get into something where you know I gotta shoot back, and hopefully, if I run into someone running through a house and I have to fight him, I gotta kill him. And yeah,
yeah.
no, I don't know. That's always kind of been my thing. I always kind of like envisioned that and dreamed that, and like I don't know. It's it's kind of deep and personal, but
Hmm.
nah, it's really like I said, it's just the closest thing I can get to like you know putting you down and showing the world like this is what this shit can do. This is what I can do to you.
Hmm.
One, without getting in trouble. Two, making the most money and making a living for my family. And three, honestly, that's kind of the easiest way.
It
I
truly
don't have to
is like
keep
a
up with
primal
like,
way of
yeah,
of
the
living and
complete
being
primal
like
way.
you just out there. That is gladiator. That's a true warrior. That in the pure sense of a warrior in today's time would be you guys.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, man, that's my ticket. Yeah, and if I was, living back then, like, during the Genghis Khan period, like size ruled over everything. If I was a 6'8", 280 monster, you would hear about me in the history books of just ruling fucking places, just ruling places and
Yeah.
going crazy. But nah, man, I live in a town where God put me and blessed me with this body where thank God I'm not, 265, 6'4", 6'6", and
Hmm.
because I will probably be a little bit more dangerous. Or a little bit, yeah. I know my size and I know how fighting works. I know how war works. So,
Yeah.
he put me right in the right size body for me. But no, man, it's really that. Just get as close as possible to death. And I never really told anybody that. And yeah, I got a couple like bucket things on my list that I wish, I could do. But yeah, it's just that and that primal instinct of being able to fight and fucking get away with it and like I said,
Hmm.
make a living and make a family fucking empire and fortune from it.
Man, that's so great. That's golden right there. And that makes me think of I think it was the Adesanya and when he was fighting the Adesanya and Gaslam fight, he looked at him, he said, "Man, I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die
Yeah,
right here for this."
you got to, bro. Yeah, you got to be willing to die right there for that shit. Yeah, if you're not, most likely you're not gonna be the one for it. And every time I go in there, I'm ready to die for it. It's nothing like wrestling. It's nothing like jujitsu. It's nothing
Hmm.
like I mean, you can say boxing. Boxing gets a little more dangerous. Kickboxing gets a little more dangerous, but Muay Thai, I guess too. But this is raw
But
dog,
it's
real
just
fucking MMA.
all of it.
I can take
It's
you
just
down.
all of it. And then you
I'll
can
take you.
continue to yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'll make you suffer. I'll take you down, squeeze you, beat the fucking dog shit. Or excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I get into it. But
Hey, no,
yeah, do all
that's
that good
real.
stuff, man. Yeah, man. Need you all that good stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, I always like fighting. It was really a fun rush. Um, I pretty much the most person I ever lost to in my life is my brother. Like, if I had to count the records, and I'm talking about my younger brother, he's bigger than me, but he's my younger brother. And
Hmm.
I would say like the percentage on us fighting is probably like 60-40 his way. Oh
Ooh,
boy, yeah. And then
man,
everybody else in the streets, I'm undefeated.
never lost.
But
All right, let's get into some
I
hot
got
takes real
I got beat
quick.
up from behind one time. My boy Tyler, one day he just tweaked on me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
dude. This was like fourth grade, man. This kid that I knew, he had a sister and a younger brother. They lived like a couple of houses down us. And they were really cool. We always chilled, played, we always got along. And then one day he was just having a bad day. And I don't know. I don't know if I provoked him or what. I don't think I did. But I guess one day he was just having a bad day. And fucking I was walking in front of him, and he just came up behind me, snuck me, pushed me over this log that was like a telephone pole, but it was laid out like it was like a house, like where people can
yeah.
drive their car up right up. But yeah, it tripped me over that and fucking his big ass. He was fat. He got on top of me and he didn't punch me in the face or nothing. Oh damn, I must be running late. Um, But yeah, he started punching. I blocked my head, and I was like, "Dang, dude!" I was remember being down there. I was like, "What did I do?"
It's like,
And then,
what did he do to make niggas so mad?
what did he do to make that nigga so mad?
Yeah,
And then he got up and he stormed off like he ran off. And I got up and I was pissed. And I was like, "Yo, what? What?" And I looked at his sister. She was like, "I don't know. He's been having a bad day. I don't know." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Next time I see Tyler, I'm gonna fight him." And
hmm
then I didn't see him for a while after that, bro.
he
And
was
then
ducking.
nah,
Mhm.
I don't know what happened to Tyler, but yeah,
All right, let's get
but
into some hot takes real quick. So,
yeah,
Mighty Mouse said that UFC is more of a show versus more of a
ooh,
show or entertainment versus a true sport. He thinks fighting is a true
ooh,
sport, but the UFC itself is more of a show. What do you think of that?
ooh. I think he's right, bro. I think he's 100% right. What pays the bills? Yeah, I think they are getting into more of the entertainment. I've heard some like sketchy things about it being entertainment and stuff being rigged and stuff. But it is about entertainment and how you can sell seats, and that's why it's the most popular,
Yeah.
hyped up organization. Just because you're in the UFC doesn't mean you're the best fighter in the world. Granted, yes, the best fighters are in the UFC, some are, but there are guys in other, divisions or other, promotions and leagues that will probably, or not even in those promotions or leagues,
hmm
probably just regular gym in America or Dagestan or Spain or somewhere. There's
Yeah,
guys
this
that
is
are
some.
gyms that are just like that, and you learn that through wrestling. You quickly learn like oh crap, this guy in the wrestling room is way better than the number four guy in the country. He's just situations, how the world and how things line up. His journey just hasn't allowed him to get put him there, right?
Yeah.
So and then there's cases like you can see like Patchy Mix coming in from Bellator. People thought he was going to beat that Mario Batista, and he freaking got smoked. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Same with Aaron
hmm
Pico, but LaRon Murphy ain't nothing to joke with, and so it's like can you say they are the best? Yeah, for sure, because you got guys coming from the best, quote unquote, some of the other best, promotions, and they're losing to these guys, not even the top guys, but Michael Chandler, for example. But yeah,
That's my prime example, Michael Chandler for sure. And the fights he be getting in is like he's getting it because he has
yeah,
a following base. I think he has like almost a mil on Instagram followers.
yeah. And so
So,
yeah, so it's about the show and it's about the entertainment, and that's what people want to see, and that's what's fun. That's cool, right?
hmm
And that's what it's got to be, and that's why Data hates. Those Dagestani guys, those Russian
yeah,
guys, or those Muslim guys that get into power, or
it's
even some of
like
the Brazilian guys that don't even
I
say much.
smash,
The Brazilian,
smash.
Smash, yeah, but the Brazilian guys, it's just it's kind of a hype train. It's pretty cool. It's kind of the funk now, the style, the people are liking it and everything. So it's a little bit of different aspect there. So they're becoming a little bit more entertaining. But
hmm
he can't wait till Pantoja gets out at 25 so he can get somebody entertaining there. That's why he brought that Japanese dude. And the only issue with the Japanese dude probably is because he didn't speak no English. He had crazy swag though, and he was highlight. He was crazy. He was cool. So that would have had people going crazy. But yeah, he can't wait till certain guys get out of there because they're just not quote unquote marketable or as marketable, right? We want the Conor McGregors. We want the Anderson
Yeah,
Silvas. We want the Chael Sonnen, John Jones. People that did crazy shit.
and it's crazy because it's
And
you can
Demetrius
feel that as
Johnson.
a
People
you
that
can yep you can feel it as a
yeah.
fan base. Like as me as
So
me
yeah,
watching it, it's just like I feel it dying slowly dying down because the guys aren't exciting.
yeah, man. And that's when I watched the Ultimate Fighter and Dana White Contender Series. I'm like, yeah, I can beat these guys for sure. I watched some
hmm
of the top, you 5 through 15 guys. I'm like, yeah, I definitely could beat these guys straight up.
Hot take number two:
Yeah, my phone's
robot
about to die.
fighting.
That's on 20%. I'm sorry.
There you go. Robot fighting league.
Robot fighting?
Are you into it? Are you into robot fighting? And or would you
No,
be
that
into
that
it?
crap is garbage. No, that crap's garbage, man. That crap's garbage. That stuff looks so whack. It's not even cool. Not even cool.
Best martial art.
Best martial art. Wrestling.
Wrestling? Yes, sir.
Wrestling.
All right.
Wrestling.
Infinite cardio or never getting knocked out.
Infinite cardio.
All right. Never get hit.
Infinite.
Infinite cardio. All right.
Yeah.
Never get hit
Easy.
in the head again or never get hit in the body again.
Never get hit in the head again.
All right.
Easy.
100 Majids versus one gorilla.
100 Majids by far.
50 Majids versus one gorilla.
I already did the math on this. 50 Majids, 1 grand. 10, 10, 10, 10. Yeah, I got that. 50 Majids. Yeah, I got that.
All right. 25 Majids.
Ah, five each arm. Ooh, it's kind of got my heart racing now thinking about that. Nah, because I would just really send like 4 or 5 of us. I mean, up to 10 on each limb, and then I would take the other Tim and Jizz and just get the biting at his neck, like just eating at his neck or something,
Hey,
peeling at his
that's
eyes,
that primal.
you know,
That's that primal stuff.
pull his hair, yeah, keep his ears, hold his ears down, and just keep biting at his neck, eating at his neck or something. I would
Hmm.
send a couple of Majiz to pull his nuts off or something, get him bleeding out. Yeah, bro,
All
something,
right.
bro,
All
something's got to
right.
get.
All right. So I got a quote from you. You said, I'll fight the best fighter in the world. So you got that dog in you like that. So what makes you it's kind of like it's what makes you seek that challenge? You fight the best person in the world. That's what you said. What makes you feel comfortable saying that?
Because I'm comfortable in my abilities to keeping myself safe and being able to hit someone and control them and beat them up. Yeah, man. No, I'm completely comfortable in my knowledge as well with the game. I don't know everything. I haven't seen every trick in the bag. I haven't got it thrown at me, of course, but I do believe that the basic and fundamentals that I have is for all of that stuff, and it will cover me in all of those things. So I just truly trust and believe my coaching. I trust and believe my physical abilities. I trust and believe, my knowledge in the sport, my IQ, and I believe that I can make anything happen against anyone. So I really truly believe that I would and could fight the best fighter in the world. And to be honest, bro, that's what you got to do. You got to beat the best to be the best. So at some point, I'm going to have to fight that guy that they are claiming that is the best. But ultimately, that will be me at the end of the night and moving forward until I decide to give it up.
All right, I got you. We gonna squeeze two more questions in this next 4 minutes. All right. So what is your favorite rehabilitation recovery thing to do? You like saunas, cold plunges? What is it?
Dude, that's what is my favorite. Oh, man, I got to pick one.
Just one.
Ah, man, red light therapy. That is fire. Red light
Red light
therapy is the
therapy.
way to go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Red light therapy. But I do love saunas. I would say those two would be that would be a tie. But I would probably here recently the red light therapy has been helping me out a lot.
Okay, bet. All right, and then finally, online coaching. Do you do online? I know you're doing your coaching and stuff, so people definitely will see your content and be questioning. Do you do online coaching as well? You help people out in the video.
Uh, I have not done online coaching yet, but that is something I would explore. That is something I wouldn't mind doing or seeking out if that will help people moving forward. People would, I'll have to see where everyone's interest is, and if people express interest in online training, and I can make it happen, and I can make it work, and provide them value, the same value that I could, provide in person. I would do it. So, yeah, that's my take on online coaching.
All right, smooth man. All right, and then finally, last thing for the video for everyone that's watching, I'm going to buy you a ticket for the pay-per-view for Majid's next fight, wherever that is, whenever it is, whenever it happens, because it will happen. I will get you a pay-per-view video. Just comment or tag the UFC on any of Majid's social medias, and I will get that out to you. Just follow me, follow Majid, take a screenshot of you adding the UFC on any of his social media
Yeah.
platforms, and I personally will get you a pay-per-view ticket to see his next fight. Because
Yeah,
Majid,
let's
you going
go.
places and you going places fast, man. And I definitely
Yeah,
want to help assist you in your journey because you're a good
yeah.
man.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you, brother, and catching up. God bless.
Yes, sir. God bless. Stay easy.
Yeah. Guys, tag the UFC, boys. You
Hashtag
guys go.
UFC
Woo!
2026. Hashtag UFC 2026. We get in there.
We in there, baby.